Eternal.
What's up guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are doing great. So let's talk about this watch. This is the Fossil Watch Gen 5. It's powered by Wear OS by Google. If you aren't familiar with Wear OS, it's very similar to Apple's OS for its smartwatches, as well as Tizen OS that Samsung uses for its smartwatches. Now obviously there's a bunch of different companies out there that use Google's Wear OS, but in this video we're going to talk about Fossil Watch, more specifically how Fossil implemented Wear OS features for its users. So let's get right to it. The first thing I want to talk about is the usability, and in general when it comes to usability, I think Google Wear OS watches are pretty intuitive to use. It's pretty easy to navigate with the whole UI, and the same is true for the Fossil Watch. The UI on the Fossil Watch is very similar to any other Google Wear OS watch. So that means that when you press the middle button on the watch, you'll be greeted with the list of apps on your watch, so you'll be able to scroll through that list by rotating the center dial, which I think is really good that Fossil included this feature, because usually with other watches you don't have that option of rotating the center dial to scroll through the different apps on your watch. And another cool thing I like about this watch in particular is the fact that it has two buttons, one on the top and one on the bottom. They both are customizable buttons which you can map to any other app. So for example, I decided to map the first button to my contacts list, so once I press it, my contacts open up on the watch, and the bottom button I decided to map it to the phone, so once I press that button, the phone app opens up on the watch. And because it's a smartwatch, it does obviously have a lot of features that a lot of smartwatches in this price range have. Obviously I won't be able to list all the different features that it has, but I'll give some of the highlights of the main features that this watch has to offer to its users. So one of the best features I like about this watch is the fact that it has a cardiogram, which means that it can measure your heart rate as well as blood oxygen levels and a lot of other vital signs about your body. And with this watch you also have the option of logging in with your Google account and seeing all the data to your phone. And obviously, just like with any other smartwatch, the smartwatch also has the ability to track your steps while you're walking. You have the watch on, it has the ability to track your sleep when you're sleeping and have the watch on, and it also has the ability to track other workouts that you decide to do, like running, jogging, weightlifting, whatever the case is, through Google Fit, which is pre-installed on the watch. And a couple of years ago, Google Wear OS was an operating system that was only supported by a handful of smartwatches. But that's not the case anymore. Now, Google Wear OS is supported by multiple smartwatches, and they keep expanding, and Fossil just happens to be one of them. So, I want to touch more on this idea of expansion, more specifically with the app library. Because if you really think about it, a couple of years ago, the app library on the Wear OS platform was a little bit limited, because a lot of the apps that were available on your phone you couldn't actually download on the Wear OS platform. But now that's not the case anymore. Now you actually have a lot more support for the app library, not just with Fossil, but with any other Wear OS watch. So for example, Google Pay, something that was available on the smartphone, was not available on the actual Wear OS platform. But now you can get Google Pay even on your watch. Alright, the next thing I want to talk about is the battery life pertaining to the Fossil watch. Now, on the packaging it does say that you're supposed to get approximately 24 hours of battery life on a single charge, but obviously that varies depending on how much you use the watch. So for me specifically, I found out that if I remove it first thing in the morning, I could use it comfortably for up to 12-13 hours before I have to actually recharge the battery of the watch again. Now, with that being said, it does have 4 different modes on how to conserve your battery, so if you enable any of the 4 modes, you can save a lot more battery. Alright, now I'm going to give you a list of pros and cons for the Fossil watch and give you my opinion of whether I think the watch is truly worth it in 2021, 2 years after the initial release date. So when it comes to the pros, I think the major ones have to do with the fact that this watch is really sleek in design and durable, and it also has a built-in speaker inside of the watch so that you can take your phone calls directly on the watch. And on top of that, it also has 1 GB of RAM as well as 4 GB of storage, so you do have the option of downloading a lot of apps on the Play Store. So when it comes to the cons of this watch, I think the main one has to do with the fact that this watch only comes in one specific size, and that size might be a little too big for other people, so they don't have the option of choosing another size. But other than that, the watch is actually really great. great. You pick it up on Amazon for approximately 290 bucks, which is a little bit more on the expensive side. But then again, if you really think about it, the usability that this watch provides for its user, and the durability and everything else is just really great, as well as a lot of the customization options, like being able to customize the watch face on the watch from either the phone or the watch directly. Altogether, I think it's a really good, respectable watch, even in 2021, 2 years after the initial release date. Alright, so that was my brief review on the Fossil Watch Gen 5. And if you enjoyed it and want to see more content like this, then definitely please subscribe to my channel and hit the bell notification. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.